Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Backwoods Banter podcast presented by Low Key Country. I'm your host, Zach in Country, along with my co-host, Country with Celine. Hello, Celine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing pretty good. We have a very special guest today, Canada's very own Mark LEDLIN. Mark, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Appreciate you taking the time. Let's just jump right into it. You had the EP come out a couple weeks ago. Cowboys Wear Sneakers Too. How exciting was that? What was the coolest part of putting this project together? I know it's your first project too, so it had to be pretty special to you.
So, the project means so much to me. It's a collection of songs that I've been doing over the last year or so. For those who don't know, I've been away playing hockey for the last 10 years and only recently kind of started this music journey. And so to be able to put out my first EP just a little over a year, I released my first single. It meant a lot to me because I noticed people were actually listening to the music. And it wasn't just a collection of songs that I released as singles over the year. It was 5 brand new songs that I had written specifically for this EP. And for people to resonate and like the messages I get, I'm overwhelmed with the kind feedback.
Now, take us through the making of Cowboys Wear Sneakers Too. And I want to know your favorite song on the album too.
So going over the songs, obviously I started writing Cowboys Wear Sneakers Too when I performed Boots and Hearts. And I kind of saw a lot of things that, you would see at a country festival. Like everyone was wearing cowboy boots, everyone was wearing cowboy hats, but it just felt like a lot of them were just costumes instead of actually like personas. And I'm the first person to admit I don't wear cowboy boots, I don't wear a cowboy hat. I grew up in the city. But the fact is, like, I grew up working blue collar and like I grew up working a 9 to 5 job. Besides hockey, like I can change your oil, I can build stuff by hand, like whatever you need, I'm gonna figure a way out. And so writing that song in the airport after the concert, it was hilarious just because I started writing it with my producer Dan. And I look over at him while we're waiting for a delayed flight and he goes, "Yeah, that'll be a good song." I said, "I think it's gonna be the title of my EP." And so that's like obviously a favorite. But I think my favorite song on the track is a song called Montana. And wrote that one with Zach McPhee and Wes Mack. And I was away playing hockey. And we ended up like writing a song about a place like of just letting yourself go, in the sense of it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, it's a partner. You're letting go of that self that you should have let go a long time ago. And like amidst COVID and everything, like I think everyone spent a little bit more time with themselves than they wanted to have. And it was a big factor of just like wanting people to know it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be content with just doing things by yourself, because you learn a lot about yourself. And I'd say like between all the tracks, like Montana is probably my favorite.
But another song I want to talk about is Slower Than You Planned. That song was a song that you've been teasing for a while, like a long time, sir. And it's finally out. How has the response been from the audience with that song? Because it's a song that everyone's been wanting for so long.
Yeah, I think obviously TikTok is a big part of music in the music industry now, just because like it requires zero amount of money to do marketing. And like obviously I had no expectations with that song. It was just kind of a song where I felt like a lot of people could relate to it, just because obviously when you're like in my position, like I'm coming home and I'm only home for the summer and people are coming home from school and kind of doing whatever. And you kind of get into a summer fling and instead of just like ending things in June or July, you kind of just let time do its thing and like let it figure itself out. And like if it's gonna work out, it's gonna work out. If it's not, like no hard feelings. But I think like when I posted that video on Slower Than You Planned, like it got the response it did. I was like, I know that's gonna be one of the singles before the EP gets released. But the feedback's been amazing. Like the streams have been insane. Like that song within like 2 weeks has done like 150,000 streams independently, and probably one of the bigger songs on the EP, which to my surprise, I didn't think it was going to get that big. But I think people really resonated to it just because it's almost like a little bit of a heartbreak story, but at the same time, it's like super upbeat and like energetic. And it's just one of those songs that you can kind of vibe out to and throw on the radio and just let the song take you away.
Most definitely. Another thing, right? To go back onto that song along with your biggest song, Drink About Me. Those are two songs you've written by yourself. Does that mean anything special to you that you did it, you wrote it by yourself? or does it not really, writing with a group, does it basically the same?
You know, when you write a song yourself, it kind of holds a special place in your heart just because you know the story's authentic and it came from you. Like I try to have all of my songs are about a story. Like unlike some of my buddies who I'll write stuff with and like they write music about other people's stories and like third
Mhm.
person perspectives. And I try to put myself in the shoes of the listener and I go like if I can sing this song and relate to it, it's going to relate to a lot more people. Especially if I go on stage and I'm singing a song, if I cut somebody else's song just cuz I thought it was great, it might do well, but I don't feel like I'm physically present when I'm singing somebody else's song. So when you go up there and you write a song by yourself, kind of going from your bedroom or your living room to a stage, I think people can really resonate to that because everything you've done has been by yourself. And a lot of the times when you're going through stuff, like you are just by yourself. And so for me, like writing songs, it's great writing music with other people because they can kind of take the idea to the next level. But if you kind of come up with something by yourself, it's a lot more memorable for the fans than I think for yourself.
It's always so nice to write songs by yourself, but I want to talk about a song that you released, and like people were commenting on it and saying that it's like a mix of Hardy and a mix of Austin Snell. So like I know you're just saying how much you love writing songs on your own, but if you could collab with those two or co-write with them, would you or would you not?
Oh, I would sell both my left feet and chop my arms off to write a song with Hardy. Like that is my dream label is Big Loud, and like I love Morgan Wallen, but Hardy is the guy that is the backbone of basically all the songs. Like I want to get into rooms with guys who are going to write the music because I know we're going to take it to the next level. And like I said, I would chop off all my exterior limbs to write with Hardy.
Hardy's like so good. Morgan Wallen too. You
He's
have to add him in there.
he's the best. But like look how many songs Hardy's written for Wallen. That's the crazy thing.
Fair enough.
And I've used the example before. Like people kind of say, "Oh man, like Morgan Wallen only wrote 14 of the 36 songs on the album." But like in a hockey reference, like 14 goals in 36 games is pretty good. And so I'll give credit where credit's due. But I think Hardy's my dream, right?
Of course, you have to add in a hockey reference there, don't you, Mark?
Always, always.
Of course. So, talking about hockey, since we're on the topic, playing overseas, what is the country music scene like over there? Is there any at all, or do
That's
you
kind
play
of
over there at all when you're over there?
it's really non-existent. It's getting bigger though. People are really starting to love country music. I know Brett Young went to Germany. Luke Combs is going to Germany, and like the country music is starting to pop off a little bit. But for playing shows, like you kind of have to read the room. And like if I ever play stuff, it's mostly for the guys in the locker room. And like in my past years, like I did the singing show The Voice, and like funny enough, like I did, in case you didn't know, for an audition song, and they were like, "That's great. Can you sing some pop music?" And so like right away, I was in the pop genre, and never really got a chance to do the whole country thing on a stage. But no, like it's hockey guys are the biggest fans because most of them are Canadians, which is hilarious. And but like the players are always big fans. There are fans over there, and country music is like something that people seem to be liking over there. So hopefully at one point I could get on stage and speak German and then sing English music.
That would be really sick. That would be really cool.
It'd be a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would
definitely
be.
bringing some new fans for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you have a pretty solid fan base here in Canada, and even in Germany as well. Like you have lots of people that have been following you along and following your story and all of that fun stuff. But this week is an important week for you. You're performing at Sunfest. How excited are you for that?
It's gonna be crazy. I mean, I actually was talking to the organizer of Sunfest, and like I was the most requested local act they've ever had, which is a really cool feeling. I mean, like they came out with a post, and I mean, I had a little bit of a following kind of going into it, but putting that story up, it almost changed my life just because I had so many people that weren't just friends and family comment to want to see me. And like I think within 10 minutes there was like 100 comments asking me to let me perform. And then Sunfest just finally messaged me and they said, "Hey, like do you want to perform on the main stage?" And like my time slot, I couldn't have asked for a better time slot, like 6:40. I'm like the second support for Lainey Wilson, which is crazy to me, like opening up for Cameron Marlowe. I just hope I do. I just hope I do the songs justice, which I know I will, but you always have that in the back of your mind.
Take us through the set list. What songs are you going to be performing? Top to
Well,
bottom.
I can't be giving too much away, but
Okay, give us like 5 songs at least.
okay. So besides like the EP stuff, gonna be doing a nice cover of One of Them Girls by Lee Bryce.
Okay.
Gonna be doing Fast Car because it was a full circle moment. Like I learned the first song I ever learned on guitar was Fast Car in my room, and then I got to sing it on The Voice, and now I get to sing it on main stage at Sunfest. That's pretty cool. And then obviously with the time being right now, like I gotta do Last Night. Like I am the Morgan Walmart of Vancouver, so I need to show a little bit of love to that guy.
Most definitely. With that too, with all the performing and playing your own stuff, and then covers. And you mentioned Fast Car was the first song you learned to play. Who were some of your early music influences? I assume with hockey, you kind of grew up in probably sport first, music second.
Yeah.
What were some of those influences that got you playing music?
So I was a big Matchbox 20 fan growing up, just because I would hear it all the time going to the rink for my dad. Nickelback in the Room was huge, and then when I finally started to get into country, like the guy that really got me into it was Tyler Childers. He's like that bluegrass. Like I'm more pop country, but he's got that bluegrass and that grit. And I just remember watching his acoustic video of Feathered Indians, and I said, like, I need to do country music. Like, this guy's phenomenal. His storytelling is sublime, and like I with my background, like people say like I could sell a house to a house, and I knew I was good with words, and so I said like I got to get to the point where I can put these into context in a song and show people that it's not just talking. Like I can actually back it up and sing a song as well.
For sure.
Tyler is so talented.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
I've been listening to him a lot more lately. And wow, yeah, he's really good. Not a genre that I ever thought I would listen to, but I've been really gaining a love and respect for this guy.
Well, it's that bluegrass. It's that bluegrass and that like storytelling. That like Lady May,
mhm.
like after like Tyler Chills kind of blew up a bit, like Zach Bryan kind of get on the stage, and like there's a rule in kind of music where like asymmetrical rhyming is like a very big thing in music production, and those two guys just kind of took it their own way and just said, I'm not going to follow what everybody else does and rhyme words with words. I'm going to tell a story. And at the end of the day, if you can tell a story, it doesn't matter if my rhymes with buy or good rhymes with food. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. If a song sounds good, it sounds good.
Now, Mark, before we kind of talk new music, I want to just talk about your hat, because we all know CWST means Cowboys wear sneakers too. So you got
Yes,
some
ma'am.
merch. So is this going to be like, are you going to have merch on site for Sunfest, or have you
Yep.
restocked where people can purchase stuff online?
Yep. So I have two separate hats right now. So I have these ones, the CWST, the two tones, and then I have another hat that's called the cowboy hat, and it's just a 6-panel hat with the yellow patch on it that says cowboy hat. Just the irony behind it, because I don't wear stuff like that, and I'm not going to pretend to be a cowboy. And but when I use the term cowboy in the song in the title, obviously I can't compare myself to like ranchers, rodeos, real blue collar cowboys, but I can relate myself to working blue collar. I can work 10 hours a day and work with my hands. And that was the kind of premise behind it. Like I wanted to pay due to these guys that are wearing cowboy hats that couldn't ride a horse. They couldn't change their girlfriend's oil. They couldn't build their girlfriend's family a bookshelf. You know what I mean? It was one of those things I wanted to pay homage to, where I wanted to make sure those guys were getting recognized, but it doesn't matter what you wear, because if you're blue collar, you can figure it out.
Absolutely. With the mention, Celine said, you're playing the festival. EP came out a couple weeks ago. Definitely want to listen to that. Go stream it. What's next though? What's coming up for you?
So I mean, after this was kind of the project to do the summer, but I'm already back in the studio doing 3 more songs, and I want to release 2 more singles throughout the summer, just to kind of give people, as an independent artist and a starting artist, like it's easier to build up a track record when you have a portfolio somebody can listen to, because there's nothing worse than like having a single out and people are like, oh, I love this song. When's the next one coming out?
Mhm.
So that was kind of half of the point where I was like, I want to have an EP out where people can stream more than just one song or 3 songs. They can actually listen to a body of work that I've done. And so now I'm kind of working on new singles, stuff for the next project. And I don't know when the next project's going to come out or what the name is, but I've got about 15 songs ready to cut that I want to take to production. And if we can do that in the next year, I'm going to try to come up with an actual project probably in the same summer.
Yeah, I have one more question before we let you go.
Yeah.
Is Girl I Haven't Met Yet going to be on that?
Girl I Haven't Met Yet will be on the record.
Okay, that's all I care about. Thank you very
It will be on
much.
the record.
Okay, awesome.
I was gonna ask one more thing too, since you threw that in there. You just
Absolutely.
previewed a song on Instagram the other day called "Heart I Ain't Even Break." Sounds awesome. I will say, it's got to be on there too. We're gonna give 2 of them away.
I think I can give 2 away. I think that one's gonna be on the record too. That song's super cool because I think a lot of people can relate to it. Where, like, you might catch feelings for somebody, or might be something from a childhood, and you kind of get labeled as that best friend or that friend zone role kind of thing. And like usually you get the ones who are getting the calls, you're getting the tea from all the stuff that he or she's doing. And sometimes it feels like you're kind of fixing a heart that you didn't even break. And that song, I really catered to Grandpa's Never Die on that one. Just kind of a more like laid back production, but letting a story kind of tell itself. And I really like that one. I finished it. I don't want to give too much of it away, but I think the second chorus or second verse really hits home, just because it's just like coming from past experiences. And like I said, I write about everything that's gone through my life. And I feel at some moment, at some time, somebody's always felt like, man, like I really feel like I'm fixing this person that somebody else broke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Celine, you have any other questions
No,
for Mark
I'm good.
before we let him go? Mark, we appreciate it. Make sure you go stream the EP Cowboys Wear Sneakers Too, wherever you stream music, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever it may be. LEDLIN on Instagram, drop a follow. I appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing what comes next.
Zach, Celine, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.